Welcome to Squad, your source for everything esports and gaming. And if you're new here, well, I will show you the world of esports and gaming with Marissa and AJ facing off and unmuted. I won't continue, that's horrible. Then we actually have Rank It. We're looking at the worst Pokemon designs. That one should be good. And later on in Esports in 30, it's a whole new world. Because we're exploring Dota 2. It's gonna be good. But first, you know how it goes. Why don't I just get you up to date in the news? Koei Tecmo announced that Dead or Alive 6 is getting its own circuit this year. Called the Dead or Alive 6 World Championship, the series will feature regional qualifiers throughout the world. The top 5 US players, along with the top 3 players from Europe and Asia, will advance to the finals event in Japan, which has a $90,000 US prize pool. Events that will feature Dead or Alive 6 include CEO 2019 in Florida, Kumaiti in Texas, and the Mix-Up in France. Now, Dead or Alive players will finally be able to play with their friends, since the game still lacks support for any kind of online matchmaking apart from ranked play. Here's hoping that gets added before the first Dead or Alive 6 tournament begins in April. Apex Legends launched just over 8 weeks ago, and it already has a porn parody. I wish I was joking, but Pornhub and Studio Wood Rocket have teamed up to make porn of what is easily the most popular battle royale of the year. Called As Sex Legends, the trailer for this parody actually spends most of its time making fun of Apex rather than anything else. Seriously, the trailer describes the game as a, quote, a totally unique and original game that is not almost exactly the same as Fortnite and PUBG. It also features lines of dialogue like, Bangalore my outlands, so don't expect Shakespeare here. The studio behind this parody isn't a stranger to battle royales either. They also developed Fortnite, the porn parody of Epic Games' Fortnite. If the trend continues, expect a porn parody of Battlefield 5's Firestorm to arrive any day now. Congratulations to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is now the best-selling Switch game in Japan according to physical sales. This week, Ultimate sold 20,000 copies, meaning it has now sold 2.9 million copies in the country. That's not even including digital sales, which means that the sales are likely even higher. This isn't to say that Ultimate isn't selling well in the rest of the world. At the end of January, Nintendo announced that the game has sold over 12 million copies worldwide, which at the time made it one of the 10 best-selling Switch games ever. I can only imagine it's climbed the ranks since then, and with Joker coming out within the next month, sales for Ultimate likely won't slow down anytime soon. I think the reason why Smash Ultimate is doing really well is really because Waluigi's not in it. Come on, am I the only person that thinks this? Like, let me know on our socials, please. In a bit, we're gonna be looking at the worst Pokemon designs, and there's a lot. In Rank It, but first, let's see what Marissa and AJ are arguing about today in Unmuted.
Welcome to Unmuted. We got your gaming and esports hot topics and so much more. I'm Marissa Roberto.
And I'm AJ Fry. It is my first time on Unmuted, but I've been informed by Brody Leafax that I need to yell at stupid dum-dum M-Rob until she gets mad and mutes me and then has to carry on a conversation with herself for 30 seconds, and she'll fail because she's dumb.
Oh, Brody. He's the sweetest. Listen, producer Tyler's going to throw 2 minutes on the board for our first topic that you see at the bottom of your screen here. And at any point in time, if one of us gets out of line, the other one can hit this trusty old mute button and put you guys out of your misery for 30 seconds. And, well, AJ, sometimes that 30 seconds is a struggle because it's real, but it's a fun time, so good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Marissa.
You're welcome. I guess we should get to our first story here. So let's kick it off with some Fortnite news, everybody's favorite game. Fortnite streamers and players are upset over the latest changes to Fortnite. Epic Games removed the ability to gain health or shield from eliminating an opponent, as well as reduce the amount of material players can actually gather. So Epic said the changes were made because there was too much aggressive play, but streamers and pros almost unanimously say that Epic has made the game way less fun as a result. So, AJ, do you think the players are right? First of all, do you play Fortnite? Do you enjoy a little Fortnite on the side? No, I can tell by your face, no, that's fine, because all of us here at the office have collectively kind of given up on it as well. But a lot of streamers now are really upset about this. So should they not be listening to their community versus like making all these changes on their own?
Marissa, I gotta say, I feel like every time Fortnite is brought up, it's because the community is upset about something the game, all I know about Fortnite is that the players are constantly upset about the changes going on in this game. That seems like that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Courage tweet something yesterday too, and then I had sent it to Zurich because he's a resident Fortnite player who still kind of plays, but not really. I guess Seb does too, who's operating the jib right now. Shout out to Sebby, JJ Pokecatcher, baby.
But Seb's just talking to me all about Apex Legends and Overwatch lately.
He abandoned it for Apex, exactly. And so many of these players are doing the exact same thing, and I'm just so confused by it because if anything, and especially in the esports world, I know they haven't really graduated to the esports game yet, but in the esports world, so much of this is based off of community and what the community wants, because you have to serve the community, or they're not going to play your game, they're going to talk about your game, they're not going to give it its due. So the fact that they're changing all these things, I don't know if they're trying to do it to make the kids happy that are still playing and still spending money in their game versus the streamers who have already spent their money and they're kind of getting everything for free now anyway.
That is smart if that is their general strategy. Make the game easier for newcomers because you need to keep that player base growing. And Apex is obviously new in the Battle Royale space. The young kids aren't going to be picking up PUBG. They're not going to be getting into Apex. Fortnite is still that gateway drug, if you will, of the Battle Royale experience. And so keeping it, accessible to that player base is smart. And who cares if the rich people who have dumped all their money in already are complaining about this, nerfing of aggressive gameplay a little bit. Yeah,
it's so true. It's honestly, now that we're discussing it, it's got to be for the kids. I'm just thinking of my little 7-year-old nephew who does nothing but play Fortnite constantly with his friends. He gets home and it's all he's thinking about, it's all he's doing, and he only wants to get the new skins and play. So really, it's all about the money at the end of the day, children. As we said. So I guess the kids win here and the pros and streamers lose, or just move on because that's what they do.
No use for the mute button yet.
Oh, not yet.
So far, agreeing about things. But here's a new topic. The LEC announced which players have made the spring split All-Pro team, but it may as well be called the G2 All-Pro team instead. That's because 3 of the 5 players on the All-Pro team are from G2 Esports, who have absolutely dominated this split. Yankos, Caps, and Mickey X are all representing G2 on the All-Pro squad. That might be Mikey X, my mistake, which celebrates the best players of the past 9 weeks. So congrats to G2 for essentially taking...
For being good.
Over the whole team.
Yeah, I mean...
this is a tough one because it is really about gathering the best players for the pro team, and if those best players all happen to be on the same team and they have been dominating, it's tough to argue against this decision for the fact that, the best players. But maybe there's an obligation to spread that love around and grab like one best player from
because they're not doing fan service to other teams and other orgs, right? They're just giving it, but at the same time, it's like you should reward the best players. And if those are the best players overall, then yes, they should have their moment to shine. Because if they actually just gave special slots to each individual team, then why don't we all just whatever throw it in? Like it's all good. No, if you're the best, you got to choose the best, and that's it. If they are number 1, their strats are the best, they have the highest numbers, then that's just how it's going to be. I'm sorry, like that's how it works in professional sports too. Yes, they usually give a couple more slots to the home team hosting the game. But that's about it. Everybody else that's in there is voted in by fans usually, or are just the best overall because they pull in the most money, they pull in the most views, they pull in the best numbers. And we have to reward people who are on top.
But
right,
I think you could make it more interesting by making these players play different roles than they're used to.
Oh, you want to just switch it up.
Well, if it's all about like celebrating the sport, it's not inherent in the season competitive circuit. It's just a celebration of the best. Challenge them a little bit, make them flex, show off why they are so good.
I mean, that is something. There is something to be said about that.
Especially if you're going to grab 3 people from the same team. Let them change it up some.
That's true. I just want. That's fine. If they're the best, let's like put them to the test.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, let's put a stress test on them, see if they still like being on the All-Pro team after that. Feel?
Yeah.
All right, moving on over to the Apex Legends. The popular Battle Royale is slowly losing popularity on Twitch. The first 2 weeks after the game launched, Apex Legends had over 30 million hours watched per week. Now, it's struggling to crack 10 million hours watched, as streamers have moved back to Fortnite, and I guess Fortnite people have moved out of Fortnite. So, AJ, why do you think the viewership is down?
Well, it's not a new game anymore. It's audiences finding what they like. There's an instant surge on something new. Have you heard about this thing? Everyone's watching it, trying to decide if they're actually going to pick this game up and play it or not. And, so many of the streamers were actually courted by Respawn to actually play this game. In lead up to it. And now that incentive to play this game isn't there, so streamers go back to what they want, and the rush, it's just, Twitch gently settling back into its old routine. I would bet that in the next few weeks we're going to see a new game come out that everyone's going to scream about and everyone's going to be watching for a few weeks, and then everyone's going to go, oh no, their numbers are dropping. It's just natural cycles of things. It's nothing to worry about.
I just feel like it's crazy how we follow this cycle of whatever the influencers tell us to do, right? Because we wouldn't have jumped into Apex as heavy as we did if it wasn't for all these influencers playing, especially for kids watching on Twitch. Like, they would have no idea. That's why Respawn gave all this money. They're dripping in all their gold. Right? Just jumping in and playing because they really dictate our lives.
Someone's got to start the cycle of conversation. Like, that's why, people used to use reviewers and Like, remember gaming magazines?
Yeah,
back in the day? How did we get our knowledge of what the good games were going to be?
Dang it, the salt. Yeah, I used to host a TV show where we reviewed games, and then all of a sudden Twitch came out, and they ruined that for me.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, Twitch.
Things change.
No,
you
you're
need
right.
to know somewhere, and I would have been in on this game. I didn't watch anyone play it before I downloaded it. Someone mentioned to me, there's a new game. It's a battle royale. It's kind of like Overwatch. And I went, battle royale, kind of like Overwatch? I'm in.
But would they have mentioned it to you if they hadn't heard it from an influencer of some kind? No.
I don't know.
Because the influencers are dictating our lives, people. They're telling us what to do, what to drink,
Did you
what
not
to
see
wear.
all the Apex Legends ads all over Reddit and all the gaming websites the day that it came out?
So all in right away. So
I'll download.
now,
it's free.
For sure. So now Respawn needs to either pay more money to Ninja to keep playing, or whoever is playing the games. Maybe Courage. Courage has a lot of followers too, because he's jumping off Fortnite. I feel like they should just be searching all the people that are cursing Fortnite. Be like, hey, why don't you play some Apex Legends? Get that stream going.
Got a new hero. His name's Octane. He's great. Try it.
I mean, why not? Listen, Apex is still a great game.
Yeah.
So
no one's disputing that.
No, that's what I mean. Like, we don't need to stop watching it.
We need to move on.
Okay, fine.
To PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, it has an active esports league on PC, but did you know that there is now a mobile esports push? That's thanks to Tencent, who earlier this month announced plans for a $2.5 million PUBG Mobile league called PUBG Mobile Club, Open 2019. It's a bit of a lengthy name there.
Dang.
The league will run all year and will feature competitors from 10 different regions around the world. There's already PUBG Esports on PC. Is there enough room for a second PUBG Esports league? Is PUBG Mobile even good enough to have its own esports scene? I haven't downloaded it, and I was super into PUBG, but like mobile gaming and a battle royale just has no appeal for this guy.
Yeah, and this guy says no. Listen, whenever I hear there's a game coming out on mobile that you can compete in and it's going to be an esport, I think that I can play. Yeah. And that probably means it's not a good scene. Only because I'm not that good. But when it comes to mobile, I'm amazing. So,
why?
I don't know why. Maybe it's my confidence, or maybe because there's no like actual controllers, there's no tactile feedback, so there's more room for error.
Well, I know.
And they kind of cushion you.
Well, they definitely do with PUBG Mobile. Yeah. Like, I remember a lot of people downloading it and being like, yeah, I won my very first game. And it's like, yeah, you were against bots in that game and like one or two other players. So
also on mobile?
Well, everyone's on mobile, yeah. But they ease you into it. So
for sure.
I don't know. I mean, try it. I guess people are playing so much on their mobile devices now, but I couldn't be compelled to watch that because the caliber of play. Like, if there's anyone streaming traditional PC PUBG versus people playing mobile games, I don't care to watch that.
I just feel like people always need to be reminded of the Asian scene, okay? Because there's a huge mobile scene there. They make a ton of money. Holy
Are there hacks on mobile?
I don't know about that, and I'm not claiming anything to do with that. But there is huge potential for viewership in that region. And I mean, if you're getting viewership somewhere, why not there? They have so many people watching, so many people on their phones constantly. They're always gaming on their phones. I mean, PUBG Mobile kind of just makes sense. And if somebody's creating this, that means they already know about the scene and they've been living in it for a while now. So they know that like this prize pool is good enough. The viewership is going to be great. So why not try it out? Listen, there's room for everybody under this esports umbrella. Mobile
do what you want. I'm just not coming to that party. Don't care.
Fine, AJ.
PUBG Mobile?
Guess what? You're not invited. Okay. Now it's time to see what streamers are up to in Clip It. Have you ever wanted to say, I told you so? Well, streamer Arcadium knows that feeling.
Dead.
Oh no.
He's dead.
Oh, we need to get it out of the street.
Do we?
Well, of course. People could hit it. It could cause an accident. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Okay.
Are you all right? No! Oh, my goodness.
Yo, I need to get on this role playing. I need to get on this like right quick. This is like so much fun. So obviously, if you're playing this and something unexpected happens to you, do you stay in character for that? Are you going to stay in character?
I'm just now realizing maybe I should have some sort of character for what I'm streaming because I'm just sitting there just so focused on the game. I got to make it more engaging. Yeah.
Dude, yes, this role playing GTA is like kind of next level. I'm super excited about it.
That's an actual world where you can walk around and kind of get up to anything. And follow that tangential storyline as it happens. Kind of akin to like Sea of Thieves, but if you're in like an Apex Legends or Battle Royale game, which is often what I'm streaming, you're just so focused on trying to get those kills and trying not to be an embarrassing Lame-o pleb like
right,
I am.
right. That's true. But if you were taking on a role, like these gentlemen are in here, would you curse them out? Like, would you actually have felt that? Like, yo, I told ya. Well, I seen that.
You could do both, right? You just do that in character. Makes sense.
Which is so much more fun.
All right. You'd think Ninja would get early access skins first, and so did Ninja.
Uh-oh.
I'm just on love, dude. Dakota gets a skin. Early access before me. Not even before me. I mean, well, yeah, it was before me, but like, I wasn't included in that. Like,
I'm gonna laugh when Tim has him too.
Oh, 100%. Dude, I hope Tim has it right now. I hope he logged on and he has it.
I mean...
I might need a minute, Marissa. I'm so emotional for Ninja.
Oh my gosh, AJ, are you okay?
I can't believe they would do this to him. I mean, he's Ninja, and they don't give him a skin first. I can't believe it. He's got everything, and they won't give him a skin before anyone else. How can they do this to Ninja?
Oh my God.
What is this guy's issue?
That was next level. That was really good acting. Yo, he has tears in his eyes, and I have tears in my eyes because it was so good. Dang.
In all seriousness, folks.
That was salt.
He actually did have the skin. It was in his email. He didn't check his email. They give him everything, and then he's like, oh, they gave it to this other guy first.
Oh my gosh. I can't deal with any more of these man babies. I cannot deal with it. Woman babies too. Don't be a baby. First of all, you have a lot of stuff. You're good. You don't need more, okay? Like, it's fine.
At this point in your career, Ninja, like, anything that they give you, why don't you give that away to other people anyway? You've got all the skill. At that point, everything else is just gravy. Spread the gravy around. Yeah, spread it around. Make it rain. Share the love. Okay, AJ, and friends watching and leaving comments in the chats. I'm watching you. I'm scrolling through and judging every darn thing you say, just like I do the pros on the Twitters. Today, I am heavily judging Street Fighter Pro legend and new dad, Jaewong, for this hot take. All right, so he says, I give you probably the most accurate tier list when it comes to desserts. Cheesecake is clearly the best in the world. You are welcome. Are you serious? Are you freaking serious, Jaewong? Cheesecake? Cheesecake top tier? No, nah. I'm sorry. I mean, Hugs obviously agrees with me. Like, Hugs technically always does. He says, I see you've taken over my job of having the most head-ass takes in the FGC. Thanks, my dude. Tell me that he's wrong. This is so wrong in so many ways. Everyone knows that at the top of the dessert tier, you better be right, is ice cream. There is nothing, ice cream goes with everything. Whatever dessert you would put on the top of your list, put a side of ice cream on that and it's better. What kind of ice cream? What are you gonna say? What kind of ice cream? Well, just ice cream. I mean, chocolate is the go-to. Okay, thank you, AJ. Vanilla for some people, but for me, it's, chocolate ice cream. Yo, I know. When we argue like ice cream flavors, like if people say vanilla, my favorite flavor is vanilla, like, excuse me? Those people are vanilla. Thank you. Yes. Yes, the flavor that you like kind of represents your personality. And if you're vanilla, like, I don't know, I'm sorry, man. You got issues. I don't know, sprinkle some nuts on there or something, some chocolate. I'm totally down with Neapolitan. You get... Wait, do you eat every single one? Yeah. Okay, you get like a scoop of all three. It's not just AJ getting Neapolitan, going in and just eating the chocolate and putting the box back. You do like, the 30-30-30 or 33% differential is like, it should probably be more like 60 chocolate, 20 strawberry, 20 vanilla. Thank you. For optimal Neapolitan. My man. All right. Cheesecake top tier, no. My nana tiramisu, that's top tier. Oh, okay. Well, I haven't tried that yet. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll adjust afterwards. But we've got to move on and mix a little business in with these profound tweets. You heard the news yesterday that GameStop is doubling down on their esports investments, and Optic Gaming announced their partnership with the standard partnership tweet they had to put out there because money. The best thing about tweets like these, especially in the COD community, is that the replies are usually good for something. Logan's was solid with this scene. How much would you like to get for this? Customer, well, Optic Scump is a world champion and one of the greatest COD players ever. How much do you think he is worth? GameStop, $12.99. Yo, that's a classic GameStop lowball right there. So we don't have GameStop up here in Canada, but we do have EB Games. We have EB Games, yeah. And I went in there the other day to trade in an Xbox One controller to get a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Uh-huh. and it's brand new, basically unused, but used because it's not in the box. Xbox One controller. They're going to give me $12 in trade-in for the brand new Nintendo Pro controller, which is $90.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Yo, this whole system, it's a friggin' pawn shop, yo. This is a straight up pawn shop. And also, I just feel like, not to rag on GameStop even more than I did yesterday, because I kind of did pour on the salt heavy, but listen, it's a pawn shop. I just feel like this generation of moms and dads like is the last one to be going into these stores, to be trading in their kids' games, to be getting them cards or whatever it is. Everything's going digital now. They know that, which is why they're selling a lot of plushies and whatever it is. I'm obviously concerned for them and their staff who are good, that they might be going under only because of this life. Like, they can't last further than this generation. I just don't see it happening. Look what happened to Blockbuster, people.
I share your sentiments. Like, when I do go into EB, I love all the people working there. They're knowledgeable, they're fellow gamers, but just, it seems like the top brass just are really losing their connection with the scene, and this investment into esports is obviously them trying to grasp at straws to maintain relevancy, but we know it's the customers in EB. You'll see like the other odd gamer in there and you're kind of like nod knowingly like, I know we're both up to something. They're not in the best state still being in an EB these days.
It's true.
But you can still like, pick up some of your retro games that are hard to find there, and they got some upsides. It just
seems like a graveyard, man.
Yeah, it's Blockbuster 30 years ago.
I know. Rip a friggin' dip. Listen, our final profound thought. Here's a little Dota aperitif before the Dota dinner that you will be served later in Esports in 30, happening just over there in a minute. Sir Action Slacks laments. Really want to make an Oracle video, but have to run into the problem of never playing Oracle and also hating it. What to do? What to do? AJ.
Yeah.
First of all, I got it out, so congratulations to me. And also, have you ever had beef with a character that you just want to play, but you just can't because you hate it so much? Like, is there a hero in Overwatch that you look at and you're like, no, I should get to know this character, I should play it, but like, no, F this character?
Well, it's Genji, for sure. Like, I mean, Genji is cool by de facto. I mean, he's a cyber ninja. He's got some awesome abilities. Dragon Blade is super awesome when it happens, especially when it's a nano Dragon Blade. But I just cannot figure this hero out at all. It's so different from everything that I'm used to, so.
But figure him out as in like you don't understand his meta, or figure him out as in like you hate his personality?
No, I got no problem with his personality. Yeah, it's just the mechanics that I'm just like, I don't understand how to operate or function with this character in the game. I don't know, from a like personality perspective in Overwatch, no, I think they've done a pretty good job managing all the characters.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, obviously Sir Action Slack isn't talking about the personality per se, but I always like to relate a hero or character to some type of personality that I can relate to in some way. So if I can't, then I don't really want to play it. You know? Like, imagine if we hated Lara Croft. Like, what if we just hated her personality? You just would never play.
Then she wouldn't have become Lara Croft.
That's real. That's real talk right there, AJ.
All right. Time now for crowd control. We got all the best posts from around the web in honor of Brody being gone. We're going to start things off with another post from Shamgets.
What? No. No. See,
I am disturbed. This looks like a rejected character from a Guillermo del Toro film a little bit.
This is supposed to be Toad. Oh my God! They took the cutie Toad, and they made him into some kind of grotesque. What is that even? What is that even supposed to be?
I don't know.
I don't like any of that.
Do we bring up the whole like Donald Trump thing now? I mean, I did.
Oh, yeah, but see, no, that's not accurate, because the actual Toad would be more reminiscent of what she was referring to versus that giant thing that definitely wouldn't be the case.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
Now I'm
I don't know why I asked you, right? Because you would know.
Movie and seeing that character walking around in there.
No.
Try not to remember the 80s movie.
I don't want any of that. Listen, next up we have something awesome from Cable. So check this out. The ambient lighting recognizes changes of color from his monitor and changes to match them. It's not quite VR, but it has to help with immersion for sure.
That's pretty cool. My friend Jesse's keyboard does that. Whatever's happening on his monitor, the keyboard picks up on that as well. I could probably do the same thing with mine, but I don't know how to activate it. But
yeah, I mean, keyboard I feel like
sweet.
Yes, keyboard I feel like I could handle, though. I feel like that might just be a little too extra for me. Like, that's so much happening.
It's also like when you're focused on your monitor, if there's things happening in the room, it always distracts me. Like, Yeah, if my wife's walking into the room or anything's happening, and they're like, what? Pulls me away from it. So maybe you do need to keep things focused on it. But it'd be worth trying it. It looks pretty cool.
For sure. I mean, I love any of that. Like, if you have an amazing setup at home, please share with us. Like, we love seeing that stuff. We might actually put you on the show as well. So just hit us up at Squad State. Just like take a photo or a video if you want it, and just send it to us, and just add us so we can see it and we can have you on the show. We do like showing off these setups for sure.
And if you have any extra like cool parts hanging around, you can just send them to me, and I'll add them to my battle station, because that would be sweet.
That's not how this works.
Yeah, okay. Well, we got one more post for you guys before we get out of here. Xenaxis posted the following pic on Reddit with the following text. Wife surprised me with this today. I should wife her.
But you already wifed her.
Yeah, it's an Elder Scrolls cookbook.
Oh,
yeah, featuring all kinds of things. And if you read below, the author has books with recipes from World of Warcraft and Game of Thrones as well, which would be perfect for the upcoming Game of Thrones, either like finale season premiere or finale. Hell
yes. Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, AJ. I've thought about, you know, having I really enjoy cooking and baking. Not to like cue the comments about getting into the kitchen, I don't want any of that, but I do really enjoy it. So I always thought about, you know, cooking my way through a video game of some sort. Like obviously Stardew Valley is the first one that comes to mind because that's what I've been playing the most recently. But when I was playing Skyrim, like of course, all of those meals that you find in there, but a lot of it is bread or like some kind of meat that I probably won't be able to find. So I'd be interested to just dive a little deeper into this cookbook to see all the recipes.
I want to see one from Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah.
Make some of those, you know, like rugged you know, mushroom stews.
Toss
and
full apples in there, full mushrooms, full
and
fish,
different
and see what
things.
happens.
Yeah. That would be tasty.
AJ, I hope it wasn't too hard on you today.
Not at all. I think we agreed on most things.
We did, so we didn't have to really make use of the mute button, but maybe next time?
Maybe. Or if I end up hosting with Brody, I feel like that's where we could start going head to head.
Yeah, we might get you.
But we get along.
Listen, let us know who you think won the battle today, but I feel like we're pretty even-keeled. You can type 1 in chat for me and 2 in chat for AJ, or just spam your favorite emotes like I said too. We'll see you next time, but until then, hit the follow button on all their socials at Squad State.
Creation, it has spawned over 20 seasons of TV, 18 movies, and 122 video games. And with each new addition to the franchise, we also get new Pokemon to add to our Pokedex. Most of the time, the latest Pocket Monsters are cute and memorable, like Pikachu, but with so many Pokemon out there, there's bound to be some undesirable ones. So these are our picks of the 5 Pokemon whose designs have fans wondering, what are they thinking? Probopass is a 4th generation Pokemon who made its debut in the 11th season of the show. And since we set our eyes on it, we can't help but wonder why. Why is its nose disproportional to the rest of its body? Why does it have a mustache? Why are there 3 duck heads attached to its body? And why does it kind of look like Mario? But what's most disappointing about this Pokemon is knowing that its pre-evolution form, even though it isn't the best, is so much better than this. This next Pokemon is such straight trash, it's literally categorized as a trash heap. That's right, Garbodor is a poison-type Pokemon whose biological makeup is actual garbage. Although it has an adorable dopey personality, the stench of its design makes it hard to truly love it. Garbodor's face is a garbage bag, and the rest of its body is a result of the bag ripping and spilling trash everywhere. We hate when this happens in real life, so it's hard to imagine any Pokemon trainer wanting to cuddle up to this smelly creature. Palosan is a rare ghost ground Pokemon who first made its appearance in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Unlike the other Pokemon on our list, this one is terrifying. Palosan has the ability to suck the life source of other Pokemon, and although that's more than enough to keep your distance, its awful design doesn't make you want to be close to it as well. Taking the shape of a generic sandcastle, it's unsettling to see the childhood memory of building a sandcastle be tainted by the monster that is Palosan. With over 800 Pokemon in the Pokedex, there has to be a point where the creators were running out of ideas, and no other Pokemon is more of an indication of this happening than Klefki. We aren't sure if the designer was just under a strict deadline and looked for inspiration from the first thing they grabbed from their pocket, but it sure seems like it. One of the more frustrating things about the design is the fact that the keys on Klefki don't match. Come on, you couldn't do that at least? The last thing that you want to think of when choosing a Pokemon is if you want to eat it. No one wants to eat their best friend, but unfortunately for Vanillux, that's all you could think of when looking at it. Let's make it clear, Pokemon are not food, so we'd appreciate it if they didn't look like our favorite dessert. We just can't believe someone thought this evolution form is better than its base form of one scoop of ice cream. That gives us brain freeze. We choose to pass on catching these poorly designed Pokemon, but let us know what you think on our socials at SquadState. Honestly, a set of keys? That's the best thing you could think of with everything we have in the world. That's just the worst. What do you think the worst Pokemon design is? Let us know on our socials. In a bit, we're looking at Dota in Esports in 30, but first, let's check out what went down in the green room, fueled by Red Bull.
Tastes like, not Oprah. Yeah. What does Oprah taste like? That's a good question. What do you think Oprah tastes like? I don't know. Nick?
Sorry?
Chime in on this.
What I walked into the weirdest conversation. What's up?
Well, what do you think Oprah would taste like?
Oprah? Like we're talking like Oprah, right?
Like Oprah Winfrey.
Like Oprah Winfrey?
Yeah.
What? That's a weird question.
Wait, you gotta put your face in here a bit more. You gotta move forward.
We can adjust the camera a bit.
Yeah,
let me think about this for a second.
What would Oprah?
Does Oprah have a brand of shampoo? That wouldn't surprise me if she did.
I mean, probably.
You think she tastes like a shampoo?
I think she tastes like an old dollar bill.
An old dollar bill? Why do you know what an old dollar bill tastes like?
Opportunities immediately onto the charge. The swap will be there, separating the charge. The vacuum! Oh, VP! It's absolutely mother trucking beautiful! They've lost the Shaman. The Stone Gauge from Ori means that they have to back off VP with the Crimson Guard as well. BG Gaming, they're going to do it! GG is called BG Gaming!
Hello, and welcome to Esports in 30, the show where we take a deeper dive into your favorite esports games. Today, it's that good Dota 2, baby. The DreamLeague Major is all said and done, and that means we got so much to talk about. I'm Marissa Roberto, and joining us for the first time ever is Nicholas Doucet. Nick, first of all, hello.
Hello.
Hi. There's something so special, obviously, about the majors, right?
Yeah, and I don't know, you probably don't know this, and I don't know if the people at home know this, but this season of the DPC is our second season, and it's a shorter one in terms of the overall number of tournaments. So we went from majors and minors being seemingly every weekend to there only being 5 majors in the season, which means that every single major this year really, really counts if you want to get to TI. And that means that when the majors come around, teams come out to play, and we saw that here.
Ooh, I'm so excited to get even more info from you a little later on, and we've got an amazing guest joining us in just 1 second. So, before we call them, let's get you refreshed on what went down with these highlights.
And now Noggin goes, dodges, uses the stop. This is it, this is nice black hole. Poor people are stuck in this black hole. They're just wailing away on him. He's gonna be, they turn back around. No one trying to get out. They go and do mid. He doesn't even care though. Oh, Ramses, you can't run from that.
They know this is a fight they can take. Dash is able to blink out after the Astral Lens. Old Chicken is still alive. Arbed is hunting. In fact, Arbed gets the kill. He dives in towards the base. He's looking for Old Chicken as well, but with the Shukuchi, Old Chicken will get away. Now, Arbed able to get themselves at least a big kill in return. You know, Fnatic, they have lost 3 so far this fight. They may lose Arbed as well as they've found him, but in fact, Arbed, he might just get the kill.
He gets the kill.
Oh, he's still alive. Is he gonna? He's not blinking. Oh, he can't get it off.
With the Reaper sight.
Oh, no.
Oh, that hurts. 1 dagger and I'm died.
Oh, Fade.
They know they're hunting him like wolves.
The Doom is
Arteezy on the cliff.
Not the cliff! For the love of God! Not the cliff! Oh no, this team is dying.
RTZ cliffed once again.
This pug going rampant in the fight. The BKB's going to win pretty soon as well, but he's trying to touch up for Rexham.
He got the black hole.
The black hole! He's done it! F1! It's beautiful!
The TP comes out from Ramses. He wants a piece of this, the glimpse back into the cage.
He split.
Get it, though.
He dodged it to the split. Ice
and Isaac he's going to be able to TP out. Do they have it? No, he's out.
What the god?
No one straight in as well with the Sinister Gate trying to down. No one pops the BKB. Does get uppercut by the Tusk. Goes over across once more. They're looking towards Yang. Yang gets the primal split off. Paparazzi as well. Pops the BKB. Meta as well. They'll turn towards Ramses. Ramses Blade Furies as well. Down towards the river. They're on top of Roger. Roger will fall. They'll get the support kill.
He's under the low HP hero.
Yeah. No one. Oh my goodness! They are back around the shrine. Their Dream called down onto the two of them. Dark's going to be stunned up. They've lost Kaga Omni's into the silence again! Abed! Here's an opportunity. He's immediately onto the Tusk. The swap will be there, separating the Tusk. The vacuum! Oh, VP! It's absolutely mother trucking beautiful! Mid lane. Try moving on to Yang, but the blood rise down. Or he's going to make sure that they can't chase forward. And Ramses, he just gets silenced, swapped up the high ground. Shackles are there. Ramses is just dead. No one tried to commit with the Rolling Thunder, but Ori's got the BKB ready to pop. Chases in. Beast down solo. Now it's starting to look towards Pasha. Pasha, he's going to die too. It's a double kill for Ori. He's not done yet. Moving towards Sir Roger. They've got detection. GG, well played. It's called. This game, it's absolutely over. They've lost the Shaman. The Stone Gaze from Ori means that they have to back off VP with the Crimson Guard as well. VG Gaming, they're going to do it. GG is called VG Gaming, your major champions, VG Gaming!
Joining us now to break down all that Dota major action is Dota 2 analyst DVP. What's up, baby?
Hey, how are you guys?
So good, so happy to have you, obviously, because we got to get right into this here. VG Gaming's long road to victory really came through the major by winning the minor. All bracket stages matches went to max games. So did their strong performance in the minor actually help give the momentum needed in that major?
Probably. I mean, when you're playing a game like Dota or any kind of professional gaming thing, I think it's really important to have momentum. I mean, it's really a mental game. If you ask anybody that plays Dota, everyone will say Dota is a huge mental game. And if you've got that momentum, like, you're feeling it. You're feeling the game. You think you know what you're doing. And if you're playing your own game, like, you know, you're gonna take it. So, and they did. They really did. They've been killing it, man. VG Gaming's scary. Very scary.
One of the things that I noticed with VG Gaming is we saw Vengeful Spirit get picked quite a bit during this tournament, but they were particularly successful with Venge. What do you think about that hero kind of fit the strategy that VG Gaming was bringing to the table?
I think that VG, if you notice, like, the games that they won, they liked to give Ori, like, really heavy physical DPS heroes, and honestly, all their strategies are very, like, physical damage heavy. Venge's aura, I think, is, like, really, really, really underrated, and also the fact that she's a hero that's a support that can, like, die and then continue to farm, or even if you put her on, like, the safe link position as a one position, if you die, you have that, like, illusion that you turn into, and you can just keep farming forever. That hero has like 100% uptime. It's insane. Also, her ult goes through BKB, which interrupts channels, and also is like the biggest repositioning spell in the game. I think Venge is like super strong, and then also you have like the magic missile talent. So like that hero's ridiculous. I think they just know how to play it. That's it.
Okay, but like it's
you're going to be seeing it a lot more.
It's just the way they play it, and not the fact that maybe it sounds like the hero itself is pretty buff.
The hero is good, but I agree with Steven that, like, yeah, the way that VG Gaming plays with strong physical damage carries for Paparazzi, they really like the Venge aura a lot.
Yeah, for Paparazzi and Ori, like, they were playing the Dusa, and they had really good success with the Dusa DP, and, like, I mean, if you know anything about DP, is her spirits also get buffed by AC and, like, the physical damage aura, so those things are just going crazy. I mean, you're just tearing everything apart, you're tearing buildings apart, teams apart, so, like, Venge is ridiculous right now.
Just on top. China overall had a good major. PSG, LGD, which, by the way, I freaking hate that logo. Hate that logo. VG, Keen, all made top 6. Inconsistent start to the DPC 2019, but are they maybe finding their form?
I think China will always be strong. Sometimes they have like a rocky start. I mean, after the upset with TI, you have to give LGD a little bit of time to, like, you know, recoup after getting completely torn apart on stage. Like, you know, it feels like TI was yesterday, so, you know, just give them a little bit of time. They're going to find their footing. I think all of China is like, they're all strong players. They're all mechanically strong. They all have the foundation to get there. You just got to give them a little bit of time to get used to the new meta. Once they find their footing, like VG did, you're going to see them just rolling, like rolling from now on. When TI comes around this year, everyone's going to be talking about the big China. There's usually 3 big teams, and I think you're going to be seeing that again this year. It's just it happens every year. You know, China finds like some weird strategy in the meta, and then all of a sudden they just start winning everything, and that's just how it is. It's always been like that. Yeah, you mentioned PSG LGD and how they were kind of bouncing back from TI. They were recently playing with a substitute, actually, and maybe it seems like he might be coming back from his break soon. Do you think that that'll help them get back to that TI form? Yeah, I think so. I mean, playing with a sub is always rough. Like I said, Dota's a really big mental game, and if you don't have your core 5, you're always going to feel like something's off. Even if that 5th person is like really, really good, you're never going to feel like you're getting what you want, or the 100%, you know what I mean? You're never going to get your 110.
I want to talk about Virtus Pro because they seem as scary as ever, more resilient than usual, really. They went to losers and had to fight hard. They had that really long lower bracket run against Chaos, EG, PSG, Secret,
they
Fnatic.
Went all the way, man.
Yo, they did it. So what makes VP so damn consistent when it comes to these majors?
I think it's the team. Like, again, honestly, I feel like a broken record, but it's going to go back to that mental game. Like, Dota is a big mental game, and European teams like Virtus Pro, they know how to play their own game, and they know how to hype each other up. If you see them play, if you see the personalities while they're playing, they're all having fun. They're really enjoying the game, and, you know, going to a loser's bracket, it could have been a strategy, but also it could just be like they don't care, and they just see it as Dota. Like, when you're playing Dota as Dota, and you're not like, oh, we're in the lowest bracket, it doesn't matter. You're just going to keep going and going and going, and once you win one series, now you have this momentum to keep going, and it'll get you to the finals. I mean, they almost won. I'm surprised they didn't. They were on fire, man. Virtus Pro is looking really strong. They've always looked really strong. Sometimes they slip up, but right now I'm kind of rooting for them. They look like a good contender. Yeah, you mentioned the mental game, and with regards to Virtus Pro, it seemed to me that in past events, whenever they kind of had that initial burst of adversity where they went to losers, you know, or faced a really, really tough opponent that kind of had their number, they crumbled a little bit. Whereas here, during this losers bracket run, they went like down, I believe, in almost all the games except for one. They lost the first match and then went on to win that series 2-1. Do you find that their mental game is maybe improving over the course, and does that make them like even scarier heading forward? For sure, 100%. Either their mental game is improving, or they all picked up a habit of smoking after games. I mean, like, I want to see what their strategy is like after the games. Maybe they picked up something from OG. Like, OG likes to lose the first game. They also like, I think a lot of European teams like to lose because then they learn from the opponents. Like, you can watch replays all you want, but until you're actually playing against the opponent, I think, you know, you're not really going to get a feel for them. And I think Virtus Pro is just feeling out their opponents. It's like boxing, you know, they're going for the long game, they're feeling it out, they're getting their jabs in, and then they're going for the KOs, and that's just kind of how Virtus Pro's been playing.
Damn CVP, I love that analogy. It was freaking brilliant. Fnatic, I want to talk about Fnatic because, I mean, they seem like they're constantly improving, seem to be getting better and better every tournament. Everyone seems to be playing really well. So what is it about this specific roster with Fnatic that's clicking better than past?
I mean, first of all, they're all new players, relatively new anyway. And you have someone like Abed. Like, Abed's destroying it right now. You know, he's got to show up because his brother was so good. So I think Fnatic is just one of those teams that they're still growing, and I'm excited that they're still growing. You give them a little bit of more time, and you're going to see them really, really shine. I mean, DJ's playing really well. I think Abed, like, he's a monster. I find it really hard to believe that he hasn't been picked up by another team, honestly. But it's cool to see that he's on Fnatic. I think Fnatic has a really good chance of going strong like this year. I want to see them like top 4 at TI. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I really want to see it. If they can like really persevere, I think it'll be a cool thing to see. Maybe they win. Who knows?
Whoa.
So I want to touch on the state of the meta right now, because at this tournament we saw some ridiculously long team fights, and the importance of save coming in with like Oracle being like a super high pick. We saw some Shadow Demon, a little OD. When the meta is like this for long team fights, what qualities in a team let them thrive in this sort of meta?
What qualities in a team? I think one, shot calling, mental game, and communication. If you're constantly fighting, if you're brawling like crazy, these team fights aren't like, you know, you go in, you get 3 kills, and then you take an objective. It's like you're going back and forth like crazy. Another big factor to that is the way that the mid is structured right now. Mids right now are getting tankier. They're building for like mid to early game. Then you have, you know, your off laner building like a Vlad's or like a Mech or a Crimson Guard or something like that. And I think the meta is just revolving around this team fight thing. As a team, you kind of have to play in that way and really focus on shot calling. If everybody's focusing the same target, you're going to dwindle your opponent faster than they're dwindling you. And it's all about positioning and, again, communication and the mental game. If you guys are all on the same page, you're going to be doing a lot better. Long team fights are exhausting, like exhausting in the brain. If you're in one of those situations, imagine what it's like to play, because you don't even like, it'll get to a point where you're like, what is happening? Why are we still fighting? And it's like 3 minutes. Yeah, like, are we on game 2? Like, yeah, it's nuts.
Okay, so CVP, do you think that Mars will have a place in the competitive meta?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mars is okay.
Okay.
Mars is my favorite hero.
Oh wow, that didn't take long.
Yeah, it didn't. I love this guy. He fits my playstyle perfectly. He fits the meta right now. He's tanky. He's a brawler. He has low cooldowns. His ult is a team fight ult. Like, he is what Dota needed right now. I'm excited to see him in Captain's mode. I want to see this hero thrive. I think a lot of people are saying that he's kind of like, he's like in a weird place because he needs to get like nerfed and buffed and moved around a little bit. But I think he's really strong. I mean, he's got like a PA crit on command, and he's also, you know, he's got a stun that's a skill shot. But if you can play the hero well and, you know, master him, it's a repositioning spell as well. His ult is insane. His passive is nuts. I mean, you just push with this hero. I don't like. One, I don't know how this hero
You're gushing about Mars a bit.
Yeah, I am gushing because he's been getting amazing. He's insane, dude. I've been playing him every game.
Oh my god. Okay, so then how long do you think it's going to take for him to make it to Captains?
I think it'll take as long as it'll take for Wisp to get into Captain's mode, because Wisp has been removed right now, which is very sad. You know, rest in peace.
Aww.
But, you know, once we get like a few balance changes, we already got a few balance buffs on it, but I don't think it's been enough. I think they just need to find like a place for him, and then you'll be seeing both of them come into Captain's mode at the same time. Usually that's how Ice Frog does it. Yeah, I'm excited. I just want that hero in Captain's mode so I can play professionally.
Dang, okay. Stevie P, it's been a blast talking Dota 2 with you, but unfortunately we're all out of time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Love that Stevie P, and my god, does he ever love Mars?
Yeah, I mean, and he better hope that the meta doesn't change before Mars gets added, because he'll be really sad if Mars gets added and he's not relevant in the way that the game is played anymore.
Right, like, do you think that he could get like a heavy nerf?
Possibly. Steven meant like his bug is kind of, his ultimate is a little bit bugged right now. So they need to tighten that up a little bit, and I think they need to maybe tweak his numbers, because he's getting picked a lot in different ranked games. But I think he could be added maybe in time for not the next major coming up, but the one after that.
Yeah. But when you play, you don't actually gravitate toward Mars.
No, I'm a support, and I tend to play like really like kind of niche picks. Like I play a lot of Rubik and stuff like that.
I do want to kind of give everybody just a little deeper dive into Nicholas for 1 second here, because well, Nick is our resident. I don't want to say know-it-all, but you do know a lot of stuff.
I mean,
you know a lot of stuff, Nicholas.
They tease me and they call me Nikipedia.
Yeah, I feel like that's a compliment. You should just take it and run with it. It is, because like you have always said too, because you've been so heavy in the esports scene for such a long time. Like you were the one teaching us so many things that we don't know, or like deeper dives into metas that we don't understand yet. You're always the one breaking it down, which is why I'm so excited to have you here breaking down Dota, because Dota is still something that is so difficult for a lot of people to grasp. Yeah, especially outside of the esports scene, or if they're just getting into esports for the first time, Dota's not one of those games that you kind of like get into right away because it just seems, first of all, like a lot's going on.
Some people do. Some people see Dota for the first time and they watch TI, and that game just really captures their imagination like it did for me. You know, when I first started watching esports, Dota was kind of my game, and TI1, TI2, TI3 rolled around, and it was just, you know, I love all of my esports children equally, except Dota. I love Dota the most.
Okay, but why is Dota the greatest esport in your opinion?
I don't know if it's the greatest esport, but it's the one that speaks to me the most because it's incredibly meta diverse. Like whereas like other MOBAs, it seems like very rigid in terms of the meta. Like different teams are really able to use different styles and play their game, and even if it might not be the best hero and/or strategy on that particular patch, you still see that team being able to really express their style, even within the context of the meta. It's got an incredibly rich history, dating back obviously to Dota 1. Like some of these players were champions back in Dota 1. It's just got a little bit of everything, and kind of in the same way that fighting games have such a rich history across multiple titles. You look at Dota and you can really appreciate the depth of the players' storylines and the experience that they have and how rich the game is.
I mean, not to mention the incredible talent they have on the desk, the amazing personalities.
Absolutely.
It's very entertaining just to jump in and not even know anything about the teams, but just to like Thraction Slacks. What an amazing character to have as part of your scene.
Yeah, the diversity of the talent pool in Dota is really impressive too. Their casters are really, really solid. They probably have one of the best overall analyst pool as well in terms of the different perspectives and the variety that you can get on the analyst desk. So just, yeah, the whole package of a Dota broadcast is really fantastic. And the games, especially at majors, as I said, are always, people bring it all the time.
I mean, of course, and their views just all over the world are insane too. We've actually passed the point now, the halfway point in the DPC. So can we just take kind of a broad look at it? Because for some people just joining us that actually don't know anything about Dota, like why is this important?
Yeah, so the way that the DPC works this season is, and I'll compare it to last season, last year. So last year, there was lots and lots of majors and lots of minors, each with a different point value. This season, as I said at the top, earlier on, there's only 5 majors and their affiliated minors, which means that if you want to qualify for TI in one of those 12 auto-qualify slots, you need to perform really, really well at every single major. And there are a few teams already locked in, and there's a few teams on the outside looking in, but with only 2 left, they need to make it happen like now.
Okay, so the teams that, if we're just jumping into Dota for the first time, the teams that we should be watching constantly all the time are which ones? So
there's 4 teams that are locked in for TI already. And I believe that's Vici Gaming, Evil Geniuses, Virtus Pro, and Team Secret. Though, and especially the last 2 I said, Virtus Pro and Team Secret, are just consistently excellent teams. Very, very, very strong, very entertaining to watch. They're always ahead of, you know, they're right on top of the meta. They have great leaders in, you know, Solo and Puppy. They're just a very excellent, exciting teams to watch. And if you want to watch a good team when you first watch Dota, I mean, there you go.
I mean, yeah, definitely. You want to watch a good team, but it's also kind of fun to watch those in the background trying to climb their way to the top. Like, is there a team that maybe we should be cheering for as the underdogs getting in? I
mean, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Liquid is on the outside looking in. So the one-time TI champs who won TI 2 years ago, same roster, have really been struggling this year. They just haven't really been clicking. At this past major, they got beat in a best-of-1 lower bracket by Chaos, and it was really fast. I think it was like a 28-minute game or something like that. And to see Liquid on the outside looking in at a TI spot is really surprising to me. And with, like I said, with only 2 majors left, Liquid needs to make something happen. They're kind of holding on to that mid-lower spots, but there are teams below them like TNC, eHome, that really want to grab those spots away, and Liquid needs to make something happen. So I mean, like I said, I'm surprised that I'm calling Liquid an underdog, but right now where they're at in the points ranking, kind of are.
But this is where we are. I love that you said it was like a really fast game. It was only 28 minutes.
It doesn't sound that fast, but for Dota, that's pretty quick. That's a pretty convincing win.
But you've been talking about these marathon games too, so what's the longest Dota game that we could actually witness?
In the current meta, I would probably say like, yeah, somewhere in like the hour mark is considered a pretty long game. The longest Dota game of all time, I believe, was something like 300 minutes. Like, it was really, and at that point the game literally starts apocalypse mode breaking down. Like, the code of the game can't handle it, and like rocks fall from the sky and characters are constantly on fire. It's an actual apocalypse. It's pretty hilarious.
God. Okay, Nicholas. No, like, that's the thing. It's like I want to jump in and I want to live in the world, right? But these tournaments obviously go on for the weekend. Usually is how this works, right?
Yeah. The major in this case, I believe it was 2 weeks.
Yeah. Like, that's crazy. That's a lot of time.
Well, one of the things that, again, that I appreciate about Dota, and especially TI in these majors, is they take their time to let the teams really maybe play max 1 or 2 series in a day instead of forcing them to play lots of games. Since A, the games are so long, and B, every single game is so intense, and the drafting is so mentally taxing, the pick ban phase, that is. So to have an extended period of time where the teams can really put every single iota of energy into every single match is really great to see.
Also, like the prize pools in Dota are just next level. Like they're out of this world. All the cash.
There's a lot of money to play for in Dota too. But I mean, if you ask almost every player, they will tell you that the money doesn't matter to them. They love dripping. No, even the players that are kind of haven't won that much, they love Dota. Dota is one of those very pure games, just like I said, kind of FGCS, where it's like they have a really long history, and the players aren't necessarily sure. The money is nice,
my gosh, but
they'll tell you that what they want is to play beautiful Dota.
Fair, that's fair. But think of like the vast difference of like you compare it to the FGC, but the FGC has nowhere near that amount of power when it comes to the esports world. So like you love the passion, but also like why is the money more in Dota? Because it's the superior esport in your eyes?
No, that's so unfair. That's so unfair. Dota just has a really strong crowdfunding support, obviously, with the TI compendium. Valve, I mean, a lot of CS players and CS fans will roll their eyes and say that Dota really is the preferred child of Valve, which, I mean, if you look at the numbers, it's kind of hard to argue, in terms of the direct developer support push behind the esports scene.
Yes, but to be fair, you friggin' love CS.
Like I said, I love all my esports children equally.
But Dota is your
the most.
It's just,
but CS is an amazing scene. It's got, again, much like Dota, a really rich history going back multiple versions. It just doesn't have that same level of developer support, unfortunately, right now.
Fair. I mean, but speaking of favorite children, you must pick a player of the tournament, Nicholas. So who is your MVP?
My MVP for this tournament is Paparazzi from the Victorious Vici Gaming. And don't get me wrong, his supports, Fade and DY, and the whole team did an amazing job supporting him and enabling him to play as well as he did at this tournament. But, there's kind of that thing in sports where, when you give the ball to your star player, you expect them to dunk it, right?
Yes.
They need to make the play. And so no matter how well he was set up, he delivered every single game. He was farming like a madman, getting huge net worth leads, dealing tons of damage, always being in the fights. And I thought in the early and mid games especially, he died maybe, you could count on one hand how many times he died in like a series. He was really, really fantastic, keeping his death total really low. And I mean, and like I said, his farm was tremendous. I got up to go get some food at the start of a game, and I came back, and he had like 10K net worth at 15 minutes. And I nearly dropped my plate on the ground. That is, it just does not happen that often, that a player is playing this well, this consistently.
So this is your golden boy for the golden game.
Yeah, he was tremendous this tournament.
Before we say goodbye, Nick, I do want to point reference to the fact that Sir Action Slacks did tweet, and we made reference of it in Unmuted, that he wants to make a video about Oracle, but he just can't because he hates it so much. So why would he? Why?
Oracle's a big time pain in the ass. Like he's just really good at saving people. He's got lots of really annoying abilities. He's got a disarm. He's got the false promise saves. He's got a really strong nuke / heal. It's just a really strong kid in the current meta, and it's just a really annoying hero to play against.
So you completely agree with him?
I mean, yeah.
Forget it, screw Oracle, we're out. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I really appreciate your time. And of course, thank you to Steven for joining us as well. We really appreciate that. And thank you for watching. Tomorrow we'll be right here on Esports in 30, but this time we've got Antero calling in to give us a lowdown on Rainbow Six. So that definitely should be fire. Make sure you tune in for that. If you want more Squad in your life, well, I do too. It's cool. Hit us up on all the socials at Squad State.
It was nice looking at that Dota action. It was very refreshing. Remember, we're back at it again starting at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow with gameplay live from the green room. And then again at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have more Unmuted. Then we're looking at the plays of the week and our 6 in Esports in 30. Till then, check out our socials at Squad State and our YouTube channel for all the VODs in case you missed anything. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.